Hello, welcome back to my YouTube channel. Welcome back to Mirror Interpretation Todorova. I wanna record a few fast videos talking about medical interpretation and commenting on some of the companies that I provide services for and what was the reasons or why I stopped providing services for them. What was my experience working for this company and so on and so on. So the first company that I'm gonna comment is called United Language Group. This one. Let me get this off the wall and show you. This is the company. This is their logo. United Language Group. I'm gonna talk a little bit about how it's like to provide services for United Language Group. I suppose I gotta check this certification to open my new one. As you understand, I'm a very stubborn person. If I want something, I go for it. Okay, United Language Group. I started working for them about almost 3 years ago in 2018-19. Let's say 2019, beginning 19. Okay, it's been almost 3 years something I provide services for United Language Group. So the process of interview, I already commented on my last live how they question you, the urine test, the drug test, the high security clearance. This all happen with ULG. They do high security clearances, they do language tests, and they do a lot of trainings, like a lot. Their medical interpreter trainings are absolute crap. I'm sorry to say that. Most of them are not related to what you're gonna do. There are some videos that they just find online randomly and they just want you to watch them. And then they ask you questions about them. Most of their platform trainings are totally wasting of time. I'm sorry to say that. Very few of those videos I find useful. There was one video about diabetes and one video that was talking a little bit about COVID. In one of their last performance, they include video of Rosa, the interpreter from Interprepedia, with which I did bilingual Spanish video. You could click the video with me and Rosa. They include one of her comments about what it's like to have vaccine, a COVID vaccine, and this was their training. This video, I can add the link right here. Has nothing to do, oh, how is the experience? Rosa say, oh, I went there, they give me the vaccine, I waited 15 minutes and they let me go. The video is very short, 3 minutes, and that's what they call the last training of their video for medical interpreter. I found this very, very ridiculous, really, really odd. I mean, I like Rosa, I respect Rosa's work, but honestly, this is not a COVID training. I did many COVID training in these last few years. That was ridiculous, honestly. Other medical trainings, they do monthly medical training, which is, they are honestly, the only one that I find interesting, again, was not made by them. It was somebody talking about diabetes, type of diabetes. It was interesting and I enjoy learning. It was something to learn there. 99% of their trainings are absolutely wasting of your time. I'm sorry to say that. The reason why is because they don't have like a training base or anything interesting to teach you. They just randomly find these materials and they put it in their platform and they recommend it, and it's just wasting of time. Most of those videos, especially the medical training videos that they make me do, it was ridiculous. They talk about things that you would never, ever use working as a medical interpreter. They're just ridiculous. One training that they did, it was training based on the UK legal system. This training was really worthy the time, and I will tell you why. Because it was not ULG that prepared the training, but it was the client, which was the UK government. They provide this training. It was legal about their system, their court system, how the system worked. It took me about 10 hours to complete all the modules. It was very useful. Again, because ULG didn't do the training, it was their client that provided. They make me do the training, which was fine. They make me do one test in the beginning, bilingual. Then I did one test, proficiency Bulgarian. I think it was medical. I remember the result was okay. Congratulations, you passed. They don't share their results. You don't know exactly what was the test about, not even what. They just say, congratulations, you passed. When I ask about my score, well, they say to me that my Bulgarian score was 80%. Thank you very much. I'm Bulgarian. I don't know. I did a lot of medical training, so it's okay. Their tests are surprise. I would also tell you that they export some of the tests because their client, which could be the government, will require a higher testing organization, official like Stat. So other organization did the test for me, which I recognize. It was Stat one occasion, and then I do level 5 language proficiency test again. It was last year with them. So there is a lot of training going on with ULG. We stipulated a price which was about, I will tell you, medium. It was not bad. I just remember in cents, but zero. Okay, it was for Bulgarian. It was medium range, having in mind my education, certifications, and training. It was not a crazy price. I already checked. They were selling my service for almost double of what they're giving to me, so I don't think that was unfair to give me that price. And I'm so sorry, my phone is ringing, but I don't want to take it. I think I know who is calling. So said that a little above 40 was my rate. Which was not much. Bulgarian language sells between 150 and 275. When you have high security clearances and you provide service for the government, they do quite a lot of money on you. So said that, I don't think giving me $40 something, it was a big deal for you guys. Oh, I will tell you also that since I started working for them, they never raised my payment ever. I never ever had any complaint or anything like this with this company. I will tell you also that they, of course, they monitor you. This is obligatory, but the UK monitored me. So I was providing services for Europe, and it was Bulgarian and police, of course. What else I would like to add is that in the beginning, of course, calls were very little, but once you start working for either third party, the call volume, if you do good job, the call volume increase. And as I was doing a great job, the call volume slowly increased because the organizations remember you. All the clients in UK know me. I knew them by names. They remember me. I had a great relationship with them. It was a pleasure to work with them. I will tell you, I enjoy providing services for UK because a lot of people there are polite, educated, well-mannered. I don't remember having nasty people working in UK. Even if we work in very critical situation, police arrests, like UK people from UK were very polite, very well mannered, very well educated, and I was really enjoying providing services for them. Same for the government. Never had any problems. It was very beautiful for me. I enjoyed working with the UK. But ULG is an intermediate company that was between me and the customer, which was UK government or police whatsoever. So they got avid, really. Once the COVID started, I had all these high security clearances. I was cleared. I could work anywhere in this very specific environment. Clearly, because I did a great job and I built this reputation of this company ULG, the call volume start to grow. First when I started, I have 10-15 minutes. There was just a side company. Sometimes I would took a call 10-15 minutes a week. I'm telling you, not a day, maybe one hour a week. After 3 years, I grow so much this company, and I think this is my job, my hard working, and I'm proud to say this because I deserve to say bravo to myself for doing such a great job for them. I grow this line to the point that we had 9 hours of calls. Yes, I believe that whoever worked with me in UK, they wanted to work with me again because of the great job that I was doing. I will tell you, not only I never had any complaint, right? So at one point, I was really busy providing services for them. Surprise, this slowly happened. It didn't just grow. It's not like I start working for them and I had this money, I was doing that much calls. There was no calls, there was no work. I build the reputation, I make this line work, I work my ass off and I make it function properly. So, and I had a great time with their customer cares and with the UK government. I had a great time, and I want to say, I don't know you all guys, but I knew your voices and your little names. Who was working the UK office? You guys so great to work with. I enjoy every moment working with you, and I'm grateful that I had this experience working with you just to make me understand. And I want to make you understand as an interpreter that sometimes the company who hires you could be terrible, but the client that you work with could be a great people. So that was my experience. ULG was gone. They were never to be found. They were out of the pictures. It was just me and the UK government, and I enjoy very much working for them. ULG was punctual with payments. I gotta say, they are punctual with payment. This is the truth. Of course, they're not paying you this extreme money, but if you work hard and you develop the line slowly, the European company, if you work for the government, the police, they will trust you and they will want to work with you again, which was the case with me. And what happened with ULG? Why I stopped working for ULG? On the end of the January, they called me, middle January something, and they offered me to pay me $20 an hour. Instead of paying me what my language was worth, they wanted to drop it with 20 something dollars. The offer was to work full time at night only, of course. No, not only, here in USA, when you work at night, or anywhere in earth, when you work at night, you paid double. They wanted to cut my payment and they wanted me to work only at night for $20 an hour. First time that they called, I thought it was a joke, so I said, no guys, really, no thank you. I had about 5 calls from this company, from different departments, that pressured me and told me that this is a great opportunity. It's going to be temporary, though, of course, temporary. Just $20 an hour for 3 months to work at night. I think it was from 12 midnight to 8 in the morning or 10 in the morning, something like that. Just working at night for $20 an hour. In providing interpreting services. So me, as I am the person who work this line and make this call come to you guys because of the great job that I did, I know that whoever took this opportunity or taking advantage, I would say, of you for $20 an hour, you will work full time. Doesn't mean a lot of people, oh, $20, that would be, no, it's busy. You cannot have a sip of water. One time I was interpreting and I had this rash on my face. I was interpreting for them, and this rash was persisting for quite some long time, and this was a stress rash that the doctor told me. I was providing services for ULG. It happened this year, and you could still see it here, it's almost gone, but I had all my face. It was huge, And nothing would help, and somebody advised me to chew aloe and put it here, and I had to put it inside here on the inner side of my, it was on my mouth, it was everywhere, it was like all over my face, and it was in my lip too and up, and it was terrible. So I had to put it in my mouth, this aloe. So during a call I would put this aloe all over my face for 3, 4, 5 times a day, which actually helped. But in one of those calls, uh, aloe, it's like a gummy, and when you put it, it makes like chick chick, this kind of special noise. And the doctor on the call get pissed, and he said that he hears some chewing. And I told him, okay, I apologize. And I told him what was happening, that I had this thing on my face and I was just applying some aloe that make this noise, but it's gonna be gone shortly. I just had to apply it like that. And so honestly, I was really stressed, extremely stressed. Not because I hated what I was doing, because it was super busy, and I start to having this pressure exercised by the ULG representatives. Um, Second time they call and I said no, and third time and I said no, and I said, okay guys, I'm not gonna do this. Please don't call me anymore. Respect my boundaries. I said no. They said, oh, we're gonna give you $23. I will tell you, if you work as a server, you will get a minimum payment and at least $100 an hour. So, worst case scenario, you're gonna make $40 an hour. I'm telling you, as a server. So, if any company pressures you like that, don't fail for it. Just have in mind that you can always walk away. I said no, and then keep calling me and pressuring me, so I would just hang up on them. That was in the end of the January, beginning of February this year. And then I was thinking, okay, now these guys will look for excuse to disconnect the line, which is normal because clearly they were looking. They were sending me emails asking me to advise them Bulgarian interpreters. They were everywhere on Facebook, Indeed, LinkedIn, and so and so and so. I know there is very, very many of less educated people, not educated at all, that will do this probably. That doesn't know how much this work costs. So I will add something else. I did enjoy with working for their line, but when COVID started, I start feeling uncomfortable working for them, and I will share this without breaking any rules. I was providing services for a COVID line for the last 2 years. Most of the calls, a lot of the calls was COVID related. Some of the calls was about isolating, the government calling people after traveling, COVID tests. It was a lot about COVID, all about COVID. But the last few months, from January, February, now until May, April, in the end of the April, beginning of the May, I stopped working for them. They would pressure people to do vaccines. The providers would do this. And I was not feeling comfortable, especially if it was mother pregnant, not only, but later on this vaccine. I'm not gonna mention the name of the vaccine, but they would discover that this vaccine was harmful. Also, a person died after receiving one of these vaccines. And I don't believe in vaccines myself. I don't believe in any chemicals unless necessary to put in your body. Yes, I do believe in some medicine, but I don't think that experimenting vaccines on humans is something that I want to be related with. So I didn't like the fact that we had to pressure people. This happened during my calls. I just interpret, but I felt like I was used to pressure people to do vaccines when they say no, and this pressure happened like they would say no, and they would start threatening people and tell them that they're gonna die or their child may die if she was a pregnant lady. And a lot of Russian people didn't want to do the vaccines, and I assist to many calls where we pressure people for the vaccines. Also, we will call people every day telling them to isolate or something. I was feeling that I was official stalker and harassing people the last 3 months that I provide services for ULG. That's the truth. Oh, when we were pressured to make people do vaccines, I addressed this with ULG. I did not receive any response. I did disconnect of some calls because I didn't feel comfortable to continue, to the point that I was feeling terrible to continue. I disconnect. So it was not fun for some of the hospitals or some of the providers how they treated the patient. It was bad. It was bad. Anyway, some of this pressure, it was not fun because the people that we work with will be criminals, also people that had to be at home for some reasons, and they would respond very badly to the government callers, and the call would be really rude, all related to COVID. It was not fun anymore. It was really not fun. But I keep doing it. I like to do it. I enjoy what I do. But I was not happy doing it anymore. Adding to that, this fact that I shared that ULG keep pressuring me to put my rate down, but we already had stipulated a contract, which I was ready to terminate it in January this year. I was waiting for them to do something inappropriate to terminate this contract, even though I didn't have to. I really need the money. So I did work and I did these things that I share make me feel uncomfortable. And then in the month of April, a lady called Diana called me, and she said that she's from customer care and she's from Department of Monitoring, and she says to me that I am rude. Basically, she sent this comment about complaint that she received. Normally, if a company receives a complaint, I tell you the transparency rule applied that they should share what the client comment on and what kind of rules you breach, right? So she said to me, hello, we receive a complaint of a company, of a client. They have only this client. I provide services only for the government, so it's only one client. Of course, there's a lot of people working there, but you know what I mean. Client, secret client, who said that you were rude. I said, so this Diana called me, Diana Garcia is calling me, and she's telling me, okay, we're calling you to tell you that you were rude. And I'm seriously like, when? Well, 3 months ago, we discovered that in one of your calls you were rude. And I'm like, okay, what was that like? You guys have the calls monitoring recorded. Can you pull the call and tell me exactly what's going on? Well, I think the person who monitored you, she discovered that you're rude in Bulgarian. So guess what? Whoever monitors you, they don't speak Bulgarian, they speak English, and they don't know. They don't know if you're rude. But this is like one of these kind of things that I was expecting from them. Oh, hi, we want to let you know that you're rude. So I said it's, so I'm saying, ma'am, I don't think this is realistical. I mean, unless you have hired somebody for less money, you can just be honest with me. And the contract that we stipulate says that there is no reason for you. You don't need a reason to disconnect our services, you know. No, she said, I gotta tell you that you have been a bad interpreter. This lady like really attacked me full time. Not only, but she told me that in her opinion, I was renting my line to a third person who uses it to do money. So she basically told me that for this $40, I hire another interpreter who worked for me to respond to her calls, to their calls, basically, that it was not me. And maybe they had to investigate that. Imagine. So having in mind that they suddenly try to drop your rate because they see you do some normal money, and they're avid to take this money, because I mean, this is crazy. I don't want to work for avid people, and I am ready to work for poor people that are normal than this type of company. So this lady really attacked me on the phone, and just because I care so much about what I do, because I love what I do, I responded and I asked her to justify whatever she was saying. No, we think that your performance has been variable. And I say, ma'am, I have never had a complaint in all these years. What are you saying? My performance has been variable. Well, I think that one time somebody called you. So there was one time that a lady called me, an Indian lady with very, very, very thick Indian accent, and tried to coach me. She said that in my call there was uh, I clarified something with the Bulgarian speaker, and in her opinion, that was not good. And I said, okay, ma'am, I'm so sorry. I don't know at which point you get into this call, but I asked the provider if they allow me to clarify with the Bulgarian speaker in order to get the answer that they needed. So she allowed me to do this for the entire call. That's why I didn't get back and tell her, okay, madam, I'm repeating, or okay, madam, I'm clarifying, I'm simplifying, because she was already informed about that. This Indian lady told me that, well, in her opinion, and I said, okay, fine, I respect your opinion, and that was it. That was it. But the client that I work with, I never had any trouble, any problem, anything. We had a great working experience. I did have, they did have, they would joke and so on. So this Diana Garcia lady called me in the end of April, and she's telling me, well, I could see here that the lady who called you last year, she said that you're not coachable. Okay, guys, I want to tell you something about being coachable. If this is a Bulgarian speaking monitoring person, I am ready to be coached. I am ready to hear any constructive advices, but I'm not ready to hear from some lady who is less educated than me, who doesn't construct properly in English, who speak half Indian when she speak. I'm not allowed to be coached by someone who is below me. And I don't think you should get in any kind of a discussion with coaching you people. Most of these people take $13, $14, $15 an hour, and they want to find problem in what you do in order to coach you because they are paid for this. Poor Indian lady, whoever this lady was, it was clearly not in a good position intellectually to coach me. So I don't want to sound like a rude person, but I said to this Diana lady, okay, and in what I want to know, like, if you criticize me, please go ahead, grill me. I want to know in what I'm not coachable. What was the thing that she tried to coach me and I was refusing to learn or to get better at? Diana couldn't tell me nothing. She got very nasty on this phone call and very aggressive and very unpleasant, very unprofessional, very ugly, I would tell you. And and at one point I was thinking, you know what? This poor Diana probably have just high school education. What are you even doing to speak with her? You haven't, she probably has not even have one master degree. She probably speak only one or two languages. Diana Garcia probably speaks Spanish, I could tell you. What do you want to why you drop yourself to the level of Diana? I ask myself. Diana very probably isn't more educated than you. She doesn't have experience as you do. There is no reason for you to discuss with Diana. So Diana told me that the idea was to pause my call line until they investigate a call that, in her opinion, happened about 3 months ago, and I was rude on it. Clearly, that was total BS for me. I said, okay, Diana, very good. I said, very well. You can go ahead with your investigation. I disconnect the call from Diana and I sit down and think to myself. I did really sit and think to myself, am I happy providing services for this company? Do I feel like they're growing? Do I feel like their customer care is nice? How these people communicated with me? Do I find value in these calls now that we were harassing people about COVID? How I was feeling about doing that? And the answer was I was feeling ashamed. I was feeling ashamed providing services for ULG, not about the money, about the way the whole thing was handled. And I said, okay, I really don't like. I'm not happy. So I sit down and wrote this shortly after I disconnect with Diana. I wrote, this is how I stop. I say, thank you, madam. I appreciate your opinion and I don't want to discuss or make anyone feel uncomfortable. I think, with the respect to your opinion, disconnecting the line is a wise decision. I don't agree with the suggestion that I'm not coachable or that I let someone use my line. Can you imagine how far they went? I'm disturbed by our conversation, which is true. I'm sorry that I did not correspond to your expectations, which the truth is, I went beyond you guys can do alone and I make this line work. And now you are dumb to think that you're gonna hire 3 interpreters for $20 and they will do what I'm able to do. They will not, because I know how much work and passion I put into it. And you cannot buy passion. You cannot buy someone and make them passionate about what they do. You cannot make this happen. I don't think that I'm a bad interpreter because she tried to pressure me and tell me that I'm bad. And I add to this the fact that they were pressuring me to work for $20, you know. I really try hard, so hard to do my best. This is the truth. And I'm really hurt that it didn't come as a good result based on your opinion, which is total lie. Why somebody want to put you down? Why, if I was such a terrible interpreter, you keep me for 4 years? Why? Why didn't you just say, hey, you know what? We try you for 3 months, but you're not so good. We wish to disconnect. So if you gotta be more like sharp when people do these things to you, and you gotta think logically. I am very upset. I'm hurt that the past 2 years I believe that I was doing a great job, and suddenly you told me that I'm really bad. And you also suggested that you guys try to help me, and I refuse to grow and learn. The hardest thing is that I didn't heard one constructive critic or suggestion or how to improve. If a company grills you but didn't tell you how they want the things done, they are bullshitting you because they want to put your payment down. I'm just giving you here a tip. I love what I do and I try really hard. I have few pre-scheduled calls, which is the truth, for another client for the next 3 hours. And I also understand that your schedule will finish as well. I wish I had received more clear communication on what exactly I shall work on. I'm not going to argue with anyone. I am not perfect, and I know that I tried real hard. I'm sorry that you don't find my services good enough. I don't feel like discussing or arguing or insisting how hard I work. I do think that I did provide most of the times outstanding services and sometimes okay services. I do believe that they just find an interpreter to do the same language for $18 hourly because they pressured me for so long. I appreciate your time talking to me, giving me your time reading. I pretend that they read, but I know it was not. Reading this feedback to me. I also understand that this Diana, poor woman, it's just doing her job. And I say, I understand your job is not an easy task. I am a believer that I do a good job, and I am a believer that I will find somewhere else to provide services because I know that I'm good. I am sad that our journey is over, but probably it is for good. I am sure now most of the interpreters will work for free because there's so many out there because of the COVID, you know. This is the truth. Many people drop their prices. I do appreciate your opinion, and I will try not to argue. Forgive my emotions. The information you read to me over the phone shocked me because it's really shocking to hear that. I don't think that this pressure of thinking that I have been terrible and doing terrible services for all these years, but nobody ever let me know will help me improve or get better, especially if there is no any practical advice or anything like that letting me know how to get better. I'm sorry to disappoint you and let you down. I hope you find somebody better. Uh, this is how I'm apologizing for the inconvenience and I wish you all the best. Take care. I put some flowers on the bottom. Bye bye. Why so what Diana suggests is to pause the line, and I know they would normally kind of pause it for 1-2 days. Do you know why they want to pause? Do you know why companies want to pause your line pretending that they investigate? In the time that they pause the line, they will hook up 3 interpreters who will do an okay job. And then they will need somebody better to keep the reputation like you. So the moment that they start to have a fucking time, sorry to say that, but really bad time, they will hook you in the line to fix the bad job that other people do, to make the reputation again good. Well, I was not willing to do this for them because I don't think they deserve it. So I said, instead of just arguing, if you think I'm bad, fine, find a better interpreter. Bye bye, you know? So you gotta think in a bigger way in your head. The reason that I was disconnecting is because they were disrespectful to my work. They were disrespectful to what I built and did. The way they communicate was very harassing, very aggressive, very arrogant. And they tried to put my payment down. I got another 5 certification in these 3 years, guys. I get court and so on, and you still try. I get better and better, and you want to put my money down? You gotta be ashamed. And whoever is on the top of this company, I will tag you. You gotta be ashamed of the team that you hire to coach your interpreters. In this case, I advised this Indian lady who was clearly poor lady, poor lady. She needed coaching. She needed coaching on how to address and be respectful and listen when someone says, instead of being like not coachable. Also, like, you gotta address the issue, right? Said that, said that. That was why I disconnect with United Language Group. Just have in mind these little things. Thank you for being here and have a good day. Bye bye. And also, if you have a Bulgarian course, you can write me down. I still provide Bulgarian for a few other clients, but why not have someone else? So if you do need Bulgarian, don't hesitate to call me. Thank you.